Okay, so welcome back to level 8. Level 8, so we're going to be starting off with a warm-up of 5 to 6 minutes. So you can either march on the spot, use your bike stationary, or walk around the apartment. You've got to get your heart rate up and warm up your body temperature. 5 to 6 minutes, and same thing as before, not too strenuous. This is just a warm-up, so you might only be around 120 beats per minute on this one, depends upon your age. So take it easy, you need to be able to hold a conversation still. Okay, so getting down onto the floor. Now we're going to do the floor exercises after we've done our 5 to 6 minutes of cardio warm-up. We're going to start off here with the knee to chest. So grabbing one leg, pulling down. Just a couple of seconds on each one. There's 1, 2, good, and 3, 4. Okay, and remember you can end on the 5th one, holding both legs, just rocking side to side. Okay, so 5 knee raises, now 5 flat backs, pressing down, holding for up to 5 seconds for each one. So about 30 seconds for each of these exercises. And as I always say, you can do more if you feel that you need to. There's 4, pressing down, should be very easy now. 5. Okay, feet and knees together, arms out to the side, back twist, turn the head the opposite direction. There we go. Twisting all the way over, turning the head. You can stay down there for a few seconds longer if you need to, or feel the need to. Okay, so back twist, 5 repetitions. So if you stay a bit longer, you know, obviously you don't have to do 5, okay? Okay, back twist, next one up is the hamstring. Toes point up and down. 2, 3. Another 1, 2, and 3. Stretching the back of the calf up here and the back of the hamstrings. Later on, maybe you'll start doing some yoga. I could show you the sun salutation A and B and a few of the basic poses. And you'll get even more flexible in the back of the legs and the hamstrings. So improving flexibility in the hamstrings has always showed up as a positive benefit for the lower back. Bending over, picking things up. So yeah, we're into the leg crossover now. Push away, pull across, lift up. So yeah, I was just saying that the hamstring stretch will help you a lot with bending over and picking things up. As you now have more flexibility, you're less likely to injure yourself. So daily stretches are the best. Anybody that does them daily, the progress is tremendous. How fast they can progress. Within just 3 to 6 months, it can be like almost like a miracle when you see somebody stretching every day, even if it's just a few minutes. The body responds very quickly. Even within a week or 2, things can change dramatically. So just imagine if you do it 3 to 6 months or for even longer. Okay, so there we go. Hamstring stretches, leg crossovers, should be all familiar with those by now. And next up, we're going for the bridge. So 20 bridges. 2, 3, pushing a little higher on the 3rd one there. You can adjust your feet if you need. Bring them in a little closer. 4, now I'm pushing right up. Feel a better involvement on the top of the hips. So 20 is the maximum. Maybe you're just doing this level. Maybe you're at level 20 and just, you know, on your days in between, you're doing level 8 stretches. So maybe You don't want to do 20 bridges on your stretch day and you just want a handful. So you could do anywhere from 5 to 10 if you're at level 15 or above and you're just using these for the stretches. And if you're not sure what I'm referring to, then just contact me, because not everybody just goes up one level and that's it. Some people might be on level 20, but they do level 2 or level 3 stretches on days in between. Okay, so now we're going to do the back twist, feet apart. We just finished the bridge. Turn the head in the opposite direction. Over we go. So back twist, feet apart, 5 repetitions again at this level, or more if you feel you need to. Okay, so the next one up is the dead bug, and for the dead bug, what you're going to do this time, you bring one leg up, pressing the lower back down and the other, and we're going to raise the hands up in the air. Oh, but hang on, we're going to do it this time with a 3-pound dumbbell. So, where's my 3-pound dumbbell? Hang on. There it is. Okay, so magic happens all the time here. So keep the lower back glued down. I'm holding a 3-pound dumbbell just above my head, or sort of throat level anyway. Just make sure you don't drop it. So we're going for 30 seconds. Okay, it shouldn't be that much more difficult than the previous level. Very soon we're going to start moving back here to 1 o'clock. If you want to try jumping the gun, just let me know if you need any help with that. Okay, so we're just holding for 30 seconds there. Bring one foot down, then the other, and then we can say goodbye to the dumbbell. Okay, there we go. So that was the dead bug. Now we go feet and knees together just to stretch out a little bit after the dead bug. Created the tension in the core. So now we want to stretch out the core. Feet and knees together. Nice and gentle back twist. 5 repetitions. There's enough on both sides. If you hold it for a little longer, then maybe you could just do 3. Alright, maybe one more. Good. Okay, so here we are, 5 cat stretches. Tuck the head in, pull the butt in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 5 cat stretches, slowly lowering down into the child pose. Now we built up to a minute. If you want to do less, like 30 seconds, which is around that 5 repetition equivalents, then you can. Okay, so relaxing into the child pose. Okay, so 30 seconds or longer. If you need to pause the video, obviously do so at any time if you want to do a little bit longer on one. Okay, so next up is the upward dog, or belly time, and this time we're building up to 60 seconds. Okay, so we can do a little bit more of a press down into the ground. So you're lifting up through the crown of the head, watching that you don't dip your head or flick your head back too far. We want long through the neck, pressing the arms down, going for a minute. You'll feel a little bit around the ribs and into the lower back, but it should not be strenuous. If it is, then you're pushing too hard. You can breathe in through the diaphragm. Feel the stretch in the ribs, breathing out. Okay, so that's the upward dog. Now we're going to go on to the back. Okay, so here's my towel. Let's get on to the back. You can make it as big or as small as you like with the towel, and gradually you've been increasing this. So obviously you don't want it too high. If you're doing this, this is not going to give you a back bend. You're going to feel the stretch on the opposite side of the sternum here. So shoulder blades around the rhomboid area, your head and shoulders should be able to drop off the other side so that you can deliberately feel that back arch. We're building up here to using one of those big Swiss balls, and I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I do have one. I'll show you. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This is a Swiss ball. Okay, so this is what you're going to have your back on and leaning over and arching. All right, so I'm going to chuck this back out of here. Okay, so there's the back bend on the towel, and that's it for the stuff on the floor. Okay, so here we're going with the chest stretch, which we're going to be doing on the door. And just for the camera angle, I'm just going to explain before. Last time we were doing the chest stretch with hands in this position and elbows backwards. Okay, so I'm going to call this position A. The next position is with the hands up to here on the wall. So I'm going to show you that stretch just in a moment on the door, but just before we get to there, turning the hands up to here for a lot of people can be a tremendous stretch on the shoulders. So when you've got your hands on the wall, you don't have to have your elbow at the same level. You can have your elbows back a little bit before. So we could think of it as, you know, many different shades or angles in between this position until we get up to the 90 degree. So the easiest position is here, resting the hands on the door frame, and then we're starting to move up to position B. So gradually work your way through all those angles, and I'll show you that one just now. Okay, so this is going to be the stretch on the door that I was talking about with the hands in different positions. So first one, stretch A, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, hands are on the door frame. You're going to lean in. Your front foot will probably be on the threshold of the door, maybe a couple of inches over, and that just depends upon your flexibility. Okay, so that's the first one you're going to do. You can stay there for around 30 seconds, and then we're going to move into the other position where the hands come up a little higher now, and the elbows can stick out, but you're going to start to press them in towards the door frame. So eventually you're going to have the whole forearm and hand completely flat on the door frame, and then you're going to be leaning into it, and you're basically getting a very, very good stretch here across the chest and into the shoulder. Okay, so back again now for the lat stretch, for the back stretch. We're going to use the door handle. Going to place one hand on the door handle, bring your hand, the opposite hand, onto the same side where the knee is. So I've got my left hand here on the door handle, right hand on my right knee. Shuffle backwards because you don't want to be in here leaning back. A lot of people make this mistake and they're under like this. If you let go, you're going to fly back. Okay, so keep your back straight, not tucked under. Don't be too close. There's no stretch here with an arm bent. Okay, so we've got to stretch out the arm, reach back with the hips, and feel the stretch under the armpit. Okay. Now, just to add a little bit, we can do a little bit of a cheeky wiggle here, just stretching the lower back away, which increases the stretch away from the handle. Okay, so that's the lat stretch. Do that on both sides. So this is going to be the calf raises, and we're using the block again now. We're doing a 4 inches block, and it doesn't matter if you're not touching, but we're still going to go around 10 repetitions. Maybe you'll be able to get it up to 12 repetitions now. So I'm putting a chair in front, which I talked about before, just to hold on to your feet, shoulder width apart, and you're going to slowly raise up, doing 1, slowly back down, gentle stretch on the first one. Second repetition, you can go a little higher, and then a good stretch on the second, and then as low down as you can, but still comfortably. You don't want to overstretch on the third. Okay, 4 and 5. So this calf raise is definitely an exercise that tends to burn a lot in the calf muscles. So you're going to find that as you push and get closer to that point of failure in the muscle as you lift, that the calves are going to start burning and talking to you. And that's okay, that's normal. As long as you're going slow, it's going to be the lactic acid that builds up in the calves. Okay, so do as many as you can, and obviously progression is the name of the game. You're trying to do a little more each time. Okay, so that's the calf raises. Okay, now next up we've got the wrist stretch, and previously I had you building up to 10 repetitions, which you can do if you feel that you really need it, but 5 on each side in both directions is enough for this level, just so that you have it in, so you're always stretching your wrists. Okay, so 5 repetitions on each side. Okay, and over to the right hand. Remember to grab across the back of the hand, just above the knuckles. Don't grab below because you're not stretching your fingers. We're trying to stretch the wrist. You can also put the thumb into the back of the hand and you get a better leverage. This is sort of what they do in martial arts for, you know, twisting people in arm locks. So get a very good stretch across the top and then lifting up for that one. Okay, so that's the wrist stretches. Next up will be the neck movements, and we're still going to do the 5 on each. So we've got 5 side to side movements. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then we go for the 5 tilt, side down, ear towards the shoulder. You can bring the hand up. Get a deeper stretch. It's 5 repetitions, but you know, you could just do 1 or 2, but make the repetitions longer. So 5 repetitions is going to take about 30 seconds to do for most of these exercises. 10 might take you a minute. 20 would take you a minute and a half to 2 minutes. Okay, these are just approximations. Later on, we'll be playing with the tempo. How many seconds you lift for, hold and lower, and maybe we'll be making each repetition 10 seconds rather than just a few. Okay, so that is the tilt. Now we're going to go for the double chin. So stick the chin out, pull it back in 5 times. 2, 3, feeling the stretch in the back of the neck. 4 and 5. Remember not to do this, okay? We're not tilting the head up. We're creating a double chin. So make some double chins. You can practice in front of a mirror as well if you need to. Okay, so after that we've got 5 shrugs or shrug rolls, shoulder rolls. 2, 3, you can go in both directions, and you can do a few more. It doesn't have to be 5. Same thing again. Just an average for this level. Okay, shrugs. Right, now we've got a new one. This is the rotator cuff, and rotator cuff is it's 4 muscles actually that make up the rotator cuff. So we're going to be twisting, learning how to turn. This is great for throwing a ball. A lot of shoulder problems can come from weak rotator cuff muscles. So this is a very, very good rehab exercise for building up the structure and the strength in the shoulder to be able to do more heavier movements such as pressing. A lot of people who do bench pressing, that's what they have to work on, is their rotator cuff, so that they can actually keep up the weight on the bench press. So we're going to start soon before we have any shoulder problems. Okay, so rotator cuffs we're going to do from the side, and we're just going to take a towel and stick it under the armpit. I don't have a towel, so I should try to find one. Hang on. Bing! There we go. Okay, so got a towel underneath, and it's a big towel actually. You probably don't need something quite as big as this, but it's just something to have so that you can squeeze your arm down on, so that you lock it in place as we start to do a rotation. Okay, so I'm keeping my shoulder in place. You can even hold it if you want. I'm just turning my hand out to the side. Now my range of motion I'm keeping very small. We're just tuning in. There's a rotation going on up here with the upper arm, the humerus up in the ball and socket joint here, into the shoulder capsule. So we're rotating. All right, go very easy with that. We probably only need to do about 5, so 30 seconds in the beginning. If you have any problems, then obviously stop and contact me. Okay, and then we can discuss and see what's going on. So you squeeze and front and side. I always think of like a door opening on the hinge. Okay, so keeping that elbow and shoulder fixed as you do the rotation. I could go all the way out to there, but then I start to strain. So just in the beginning, just getting used to some mild rotation. Okay, so that's the rotator cuff exercise. There we go. And that's going to be about it now for level 8. Wow, we're getting up to level 10, which is when we're going to start using the elastic bands and doing some resistance with some weight.